1, 2, 3, and. Talk about. People want to talk about looting, property getting destroyed. Let's talk about a needless death. Let's talk about George Floyd. People want to talk about curfews, saying troops ought to be deployed. Let's talk about a human life. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George wasn't being violent. George wasn't carrying a piece. Let's not talk about looting. Let's talk about the police. Policeman's got a hard job to do wherever they're employed, but they gotta know they ain't above the law. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George was wearing handcuffs. Hands were behind his back. Lying face down in the street didn't seem much of a threat. 3 police officers down on their knees, George lying underneath. Chauvin's knee was on George's neck, George saying, I can't breathe. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George Floyd wasn't a murderer, a rapist, or a terrorist threat. They said he used a counterfeit bill to buy a pack of cigarettes. 16 times he said, I can't breathe. The minutes went creeping by. Chauvin could have got off of his neck. George didn't have to die. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George was born in Fayetteville in North Carolina State. He grew up in Houston, went to high school at Yates. George played high school basketball and he played football too. They almost won the state championship back in '92. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. Then he went to school in Florida where he played college hoops. Then he went back home to Houston and he joined with a hip-hop group. They called themselves the Screwed Up Clique. It was something that George enjoyed. Let's talk about what happened next to the man that used to be George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George moved to Minnesota in the year 2014. Lost his job as a restaurant guard because of COVID-19. He helped his friends, he believed in God. He was 46 years old. He's got a family who loved him and a woman to be consoled. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. George called out to his mother, though she'd been dead 2 years. Dying men often do that as they shed their last tears. Just another black American, temporarily unemployed, dying in Minneapolis. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. People want to talk about looting, property getting destroyed. Let's talk about a needless death. Let's talk about George Floyd. People want to talk about curfews and troops ought to be deployed. Let's talk about a human life. Let's talk about George Floyd. Let's keep talking. Let's talk about George Floyd. Don't stop talking. Let's keep talking. Let's talk about George Floyd. Don't stop talking. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd. Talk about. Let's talk about George Floyd.